Alright, in this video, I wanted to talk about which Dragon Ball Z characters could be a top G. Now, first, before we talk about who could be, we have to kind of like know what a top G exactly is. Now, the top G phrase I'm referring to is more about the goofy goober Andrew Tate. Now, a top G, from what I gather from the research, from all the research I've done, the excessive amounts of research I've done on this topic. For one, he's got a song, and quote for quote in the song, he says, "Real high value kid. I step on the scene. The guy go crazy. Had no breathalyzer. She ain't believe that the rap would pay." Now, a top G, I feel as though what a top G is if I look up on like Urban Dictionary or something like that, or just look up what is a top G, it says like top gangster, describes someone who is feared and respected by all. Now sure, we can take that, but I feel as though this is more misogynistic and more like, I think it's not like just like, oh, he's just cool, like you know a top G is just like misogynistic. I can't even speak. But we'll go with someone who's feared and respected by all. But I don't want to just like choose like all like the villains are just like, yes, they're top Gs, yeah. Someone who could be. Now theoretically, yes, anyone in Dragon Ball can be one, I guess, sure. Like if Krillin was put on Earth right now, the dude is like leagues above everybody, of course he's gonna be. But I'm gonna take into consideration their personality, maybe their moves and transformations, how they fight, what exactly they'll do to constitute as a top G, you know? So, number one, Goku. Goku, his personality is like, he's a little dumb, he's a little naive. I can't see Goku being a top G, I'm not gonna lie. Yes, he may be strong, he may be angry sometimes and go crazy, but I don't know if maybe Goku is respected by some, sure, but Goku gets disrespected all the time, especially by Vegeta. The guy calls him clown all the time. And yes, Goku may beat him, but if you beat someone or dominate over them, you want to be a top G and make sure that doesn't happen again. You know what I mean? But this guy Goku getting called clown, getting hit by his wife and all that bull. You see, this you don't. Andrew Tate, he slaps him and says, stupid stuff like that. Now Goku does not do that, so I can't count Goku as a top G. I mean, yeah, he slapped Frieza around, not gonna lie, but he's getting bossed around by his wife, and he's getting clowned by Vegeta. He may be respected by some people, but gonna have to put Goku in the non-top G. He's not a top G. Sorry, Goku. Vegeta has a lot going for him for being a top G. He fights kind of like one too. He fights a little bit. I guess like, yeah, how do you fight like a top G? That's the dumbest thing. Like, but he fights kind of like, back then he fought disrespectfully and he didn't care. But now he's got honor. Feel as though in some weird way, some weird, stupid, dumb way, top Gs have honor, even though they are bastards. So I'll kind of give it to Vegeta, maybe. His techniques are big and flashy, no pun intended, but ridiculous. But Vegeta does disrespect other people all the time. The way he talks and his attitude towards things, yes, he could constitute as a top G. I mean, he is feared by a lot of people. I'm sure he was at a point. But I think he doesn't, because one, his wife bosses him around. Now, I'm not gonna say Vegeta's never been a dickhead to his Bulma or whatever. Like, I'm not gonna say that, or like he treats his son with, respect. No, he beats he does not like his son. I think he likes him, but like he definitely treats his son like shit sometimes. Not gonna lie, but he does get bossed around by Bulma quite a bit now. So I'll say back then, Vegeta could maybe constitute as a top G because he was acting like he was just killing people. He did not care at that point. This guy was taking nothing from nobody. But then at the same time, the dude was crying around. Frieza was like, oh. I was like, oh, come on. But he was beating up Gohan, and he's a very complicated case. I'd say like maybe 50-50. He could go either way, but I see top G as more as there are like the little things count too. Okay, the little things count too, bruv. They count too. So I'm gonna have to put Vegeta as not a top G. I'm sorry, Vegeta, you're not a top G. I'm sorry, bruh. Next is I'll go with Piccolo. Piccolo, man, oh man, Piccolo. I'm just gonna say it. Piccolo could count as one. I'm not gonna lie, he could. He does have respect for other people, but I'm sure a lot of people fear and respect Piccolo, definitely for sure. And you could be like, oh well, top G's, you know, this guy doesn't have a peen, man. He's not, you know, he doesn't care about women at all. Now you could say, would a top G prioritize what they value more over women? Yes, you could say that. You could say that, but I feel as though a top G uses women in a disgusting way. Piccolo doesn't, but I'll give Piccolo this. He does not care about them. He really only cares about the betterment of himself. But that's not to say he doesn't care. He cares nothing about no one else. Like, he does care about other people in the world, but I'm gonna have to give. I'll definitely give Piccolo a certified top G right there. Piccolo's a top G. We'll give him that. You know, I'll give Piccolo that, and it's so goofy because like, wow, Piccolo. He's kind of a nicer guy now, but he's still kind of a dick. But like Piccolo, a top G, that's kind of goofy. But yeah, I'm gonna have to give Piccolo. I think he constitutes as being a top G. Yeah, you know, I think sometimes he does get disrespected, but you know, I don't think he lets it slide. Most of the time, he probably doesn't let it slide. I don't really remember him getting beat by any like female or like even a child like that. You know, maybe Gohan punch him a couple times or something like that, but the dude doesn't care. So I'm gonna have to give Piccolo a top G. Next, we'll talk about Krillin. No, man. No, I don't think anyone even respects Krillin too much. Like, I respect Krillin, you know, but maybe some people respect him, but like, I'm gonna be honest, compared to everyone else, no. Krillin's just an easy no, and I love Krillin, but I'm sorry, bruh. You may pull the baddest girl, sure, but like, I'm sorry, bruh. You're not getting that top G spot, man. You get disrespected all the time, bruh. All the time. Yamcha. I don't even gotta say nothing about that bastard, bro. I don't even gotta say nothing about that guy, bro. You know, whatever. Leave him alone. I'm not even gonna get on his case today. Tien. I'd say Tien does constitute as a top G. Now, yes, I'd say maybe like a top G doesn't really respect people in a certain way. I think they have a weird way of respecting. It's a very stupid way, but Tien is very respectful, and I think a lot of people do respect Tien. And Tien doesn't mess with women. I think Launch came on to him or whatever, and he turned her down a while back. And this guy Tien, he's teaching other. He's even got his own Hustlers University going. He's got his own thing going. He's teaching other people his ways of bettering yourself, being productive. So I'm definitely gonna have to give Tien a top G spot. He may not fight like one really, but that's fighting like one is not as important, to be honest, as acting like one or carrying yourself like one. And Tien is fairly like, the thing with Piccolo, like, yes, Piccolo may not be like as rich or anything like that, sure, but he's rich in knowledge and strength and attitude. And Tien, I think Tien's actually doing pretty solid for himself. He's got his own thing going, so he's going. So I'll give Tien the top G certified. I'll give him this, you know, the top G title. Sure, we'll give him that. Now, After Tien, I'll say let's go with Frieza. Because Frieza's more in the main cast kind of now. We see him a lot. Stuff with Black Frieza happened. Frieza is feared. I guess he's kind of respected. I don't see too many people talking down to him unless we're talking about that one scene where Goku was slapping him around like a bitch. Like a little bitch, man. He was slapping him. He was disrespecting him. He got disrespected by Trunks heavily. But that is the past. Okay. Nowadays, I don't think he's getting disrespected like that. I mean, maybe Topo kind of just like, damn, you did not have like that. But currently, right now, with the Black Frieza thing, and even Orange Piccolo, yeah, Orange Piccolo, sure. But Frieza, you could say he's a top G. I think, to be honest, I can go 50-50 with the way he carries himself, because he is a little feminine, and top Gs are not feminine. And he is kind of feminine a little bit, and he is respected but feared, but he does get kind of clowned sometimes. Personally, I guess this could just come down to personal choice. I'm not going to put him in the top G spot. That's just me. Someone else can. Someone else, whatever you can or you couldn't. I'm going to not put him there. After Frieza, Gohan. Gohan, man. He's even got the Beast Gohan transformation. Gohan respects his wife and is respected by a lot of people. Feared depends on the person. Really depends on the person. Because he made Cell look like a bit. He really did. He made my boy Cell look like a bit. And Cell was scared. He was scared. He was shitting his pants. Let's not lie. He was definitely just like so scared. And Gohan, I don't think Gohan has the attitude of one really. Piccolo kind of has one. Gohan's more like just like Twinkie. He's kind of like a twink. Not gonna lie. But I love Gohan. But I don't know if I would say he's a top G. I mean, he doesn't get pushed around by like his wife or nothing like that. And he doesn't like. He's not. I don't know. I'm not gonna put him in the top. I won't give him the top G for Gohan. He could, maybe, but he is doing well for himself too. And yeah, I mean, you really could, but I'd say the same thing with Frieza. It's 50-50 thing, but I think his attitude towards stuff and the way he carries himself is less top G and more twink. So I'm gonna have to not give Gohan the top G logo right there. I'm sorry, Gohan, you don't get it. Next, we'll talk about DBS Broly. Now, DBS Broly, Broly, man. Okay, Broly could be, maybe. He's just so dumb. He's so dumb, and I guess, like, sure, top G's, that thing, that ideology is pretty dumb. It's very dumb, but I think Broly is just an animal. He's more like an animal than a person. Yes, he's trying to control it, and he also isn't getting that distracted by Chi-Lai like that. You would think he would be, maybe like Beerus, but he's not. So I'm gonna have to say maybe. This is also another 50-50. He's trying to better himself too, in a weird way, sure. But his ideologies, I don't think he looks down on anyone like that or thinks himself as a top G. I think he's a little more humble than that. So, I'll give this one to Broly. I'll say he's a top G. Sure, we'll give Broly the top G. Even though he got disrespected by Gogeta so bad, but at the same time he disrespected Vegeta and Goku really bad too. But yeah, I will give it. I feel as though Andrew Tate does respect his father in a weird way. Andrew Tate does a lot of stupid things, I feel though, but he does respect his dad, even though Broly over here, man, his dad is a bastard. His dad is kind of a dickhead, but even though he was a dickhead, he still respected him and liked his father. So, and appreciated him in a weird way. So that toxic masculinity kind of thing, sure, we'll give DBS Broly the top G certified as well. And last, I'm going to talk about Trunks, specifically future Trunks. Now I'm going to talk about not Goten or you know, Kid Trunks. It's just specifically future Trunks. Future Trunks in Z, I mean, at the beginning, when he was like a teen, he was getting disrespected by the androids, but he came back and disrespected them so bad. He did the same thing to Mecha Frieza. He just disrespected him, King Cold, and they were scared of him. When the tables were turned, everyone's scared of anyone, but like the fear Trunks gave to Mecha Frieza and King Cold and the androids, even Zamasu to some extent, when he was cutting him up, that must have been, that takes a lot. And in Super, I don't know if he's a top G so much in Super, not gonna lie, I don't think he's not a top G. He's got basic, he's got a girl, Mai, and he's showing her too much, you know. As a top G, you know, you gotta care for them somewhat, but you also gotta disrespect them, and you gotta disrespect them. Trunks did, but he was taking care of her, so sure, maybe. And Z, he was getting disrespected too, but he respected his father as well, even though his father was kind of a dick to him. But he still respected him. So I'm gonna have to give Trunks a top G. He may not fight like one too much. I mean, he is very disrespectful, but I'm gonna have to give him, you know, a top G certified right there for Trunks right there, bruh. Even the buff form that got disrespected, you know. He was still there fighting now, you know, even though he kind of gave up. I'd still say he's a top G even with his small hiccups. But that's gonna be it for this video, y'all. I want to make a stupid video. Like, don't take this video super seriously, man. Even if you agree with like Andrew Tate and his stuff, you know, you can do that, man, but don't take this video super seriously or be like, oh, you're a bastard because you like Andrew Tate, or like, hey, you're misinterpreting what he stands for, or whatever, you know. This is not supposed to be a super serious kind of like video. It's supposed to be just like a stupid, funny video, man. So don't take it too seriously, guys. But appreciate you for watching the video. Peace.